Ken Fernandez, and welcome to my channel, Gamers Genie. Today, we're going to be counting down my top 10 favorite maps for the game Ticket to Ride. Ticket to Ride is a very popular, as we're calling it now, welcoming game by Alan R. Moon, it's right next to me, and published by Days of Wonder. Alan has designed, along with other designers, multiple different maps. Now, sometimes he designed these maps by himself, and sometimes he designed them with partners. There are, I don't know how many maps there are that are official, because there are some fan-made maps which are not included in this list. No fan-made maps, and also it has to be maps based off of a Ticket to Ride game that already exists, and we're also not going to do the mini maps because unfortunately, there's number one, I'm going to wait until there's more out there, so that way maybe I could do a top 5 or something like that. And number two, it seems unfair because I might have to just put them back at number 10 or something like that. But anyways, that's perfectly fine. So without further ado, let's count down. Okay, so number 10 is the India map. And all of these maps I have played before, and I will tell you how I played them. So the India map I first played on Ticket to Ride Online with the Steam engine gaming platform. But then later on I bought the physical copy, and I do love this version. It's a good game. One of the things I don't do though with the India map, and which is why I lose a lot, and that's not why it's number 10. But that's not why it's number 10. Is the mandala? I think that's for this one, where you have to enter to the same destination through different routes. And I just kind of do the one route and then just keep completing tickets. Now sometimes I win with that, sometimes I lose devastatingly with that because I don't get the bonus. It's still pretty fun. I like the coloring and everything in that, and the theme really fits well with that. So, these are all really fun, just letting you know. But number 10 is India. Okay, so number 9 is the Switzerland map. The Switzerland map is, I believe, is the other side of the India map. And, I like the Switzerland map a little bit more just because of some of the obstacles that they have on that map. I don't believe there's a bonus for that one. But one of the things I do enjoy is you have to connect it to, it's different towns in Switzerland, but then you can also go to, different countries in Europe that's bordering Switzerland as well. There are some stuff that gives it some level of difficulty, but it's altogether a very fun game. And again, it sticks very well to the theme, and it's very, very enjoyable. I totally recommend this one. Okay, so number 8 is the France map. Oui, monsieur. So on the France map it's pretty different. In the France map, you get to place down the color of the railroad track that you want in that by, I believe it's getting rid of a certain number of cards. It's been a while since I played the France map. That's why it's kind of a little bit up on that list, though. That's why it's a little bit up on the list. And again, you can go to different countries bordering France, which, just like Switzerland, that makes it pretty fun. The thing I like is they also have, this was kind of a prototype, the Switzerland and the France map, I feel like is kind of a bit of a prototype for another map that's kind of on this list, and I'll mention which one it is once I get to that. But on the other side is the Wild West map, and this one will not be on this one because I've not played the Wild West map, and And yeah, unfortunately, because I don't physically own France, I played it online. I do enjoy it. It's a lot easier to do that. So, number 8, France. Okay, so number 7 is the UK map. I did enjoy the UK map, and one of the reasons why I like the UK map is because you have to invest in advancing technologies, like different machines. So it's kind of like you're going through the industrial age. And you have to invest in all this stuff in order to unlock certain routes, because if you don't have the machinery to place down the track or build the station or whatever, then you can't go there, which I kind of like, because then you don't have that one player who's like, okay, I got these many cards, boop, 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 boop. Okay, now I got these many cards, boop, 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 boop. Okay, now I got these many cards, boop, 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 boop. So it's like, okay, I got these many cards, and I can fill that up, but I need that steam engine. So I have to get the steam engine, but now I got to get even more cards. So it does give the time for the people who like to play this game, take their time, who like to go through that, while the speed guys, the guys who go like boom, 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 it forces them to slow down, and it allows the guys who like to take their time to take their time, which is one of the reasons why it's definitely on this list and why I definitely put it at number 7. The thing is, unfortunately, why it's not in my top 5 is because that also is kind of a frustrating factor for, I can also see that as a frustrating factor, and it was a frustrating factor for me. It was a frustrating factor for a lot of people who are used to traditional Ticket to Ride. India, Switzerland, France. If you're used to traditional Ticket to Ride, there's only a slight tweak to the rules where these are good. As far as UK though goes, it's number 7 because I like how it slows down your opponents, but I also get it because it's very easy to forget that you need to get these technologies moving, and you need to get these on your side in order for you to start placing down your trains. So that is why number 7 is the UK map. Okay, so number 6 is Germany. And I can't remember if there's any special rules to the Germany map. As far as I know, it's just Ticket to Ride. It's just basic Ticket to Ride, but in Germany. If there is some special rules for the Germany map, because I don't play this one that often, just let me know in the comments below, or if I'll probably play it like within the time by the time this video is out. If there is, I'll put that in the comments below, let you guys know. But I do like Germany. Again, it's got that thing with the other games where it's also countries bordering Germany. You can go there, kind of. But it's pretty fun. It still keeps it in, I like it because it keeps it tight. It's nice and, it feels like you're doing a more contained map when you do these individual countries as opposed to the next one on this list. But there's a reason why the next one on this list is at where it is, and I will explain that as soon as I finish explaining number 6, Germany. Okay, so number 5 is the Europe map. Now, this is the one I was talking about prior with Germany. Europe, I think, is really fun. I do enjoy Europe very, very much because you have short routes that you use throughout the game, but you also have long routes, and if you can only get the long routes at the beginning of the game. If you choose to, it gives you more points to win, so you can choose. It's very long, so it's like one half of the board to almost the other half of the board, and if you choose to do that, you can benefit from it very much, but it's like really high points. So if you don't complete those long routes, you're going to lose a lot of points. So it's a big risk factor with the long routes. After that, though, it's just a bunch of short routes. There might be a long route here or there, but it's not going to be as long as the route that you have already. The other thing I like about the Europe map is they have stations. And stations you get to place on the board by spending one color of the same of a card of your choice. So you have to spend like one card color of your choice, so say blue, so you have to spend like a blue card. But then when you want to play down to your second one, you have to play 2 blue cards, and then 3 blue cards, and then that's that. Now you do get bonus points for keeping the stations. I believe it's 4 bonus points for each unused station that you have, which is pretty different for our number 3 choice, which is one of the ones I've been teasing so long. I feel like you guys are probably getting annoyed by now by me teasing this so much. But the Europe map, you go through. They also introduce tunnels, and tunnels make this game, in my opinion, super fun. I know a lot of people in my family, including Jordan, don't like tunnels. They don't like the randomness of the tunnels. They don't like how you have to put down cards, and then you draw 3 cards, and if one of them is a wild or the same color as the 3 cards you're placing, as the card you're placing down, you have to play another card. If you don't, you crash, and then you have to start all over again. It can be difficult. But that's one of the reasons why I love it, and that's why number 5 is the Europe map. Okay, so my number 4 is Ticket to Ride Nordic Countries. And it's one of my favorites, mostly because my favorite color may or may not be one of the trains. But I also love the theme. They are very thematic with Nordic countries. Nordic countries, we have holly like all over the map and on the box, and you have your train cards are covered in snow, and there's holly on some of them, and there's all sorts of very, it's got a very wintry feel to it. It definitely lives up to the name of the Nordic countries, and one of the things I love about it is the cool thing about this is the wilds in Nordic countries do not count as 2 cards. However, they don't count as wild anymore. Instead, you use them to try to get over fairies, which is something that's used pretty big in the next map that I'm going to be talking about soon. This is the one that I've been teasing very, very much, the number 3. But Nordic countries, I love that game. I love this map. Especially love that you can go like almost around the score track like 3 times before the game ends, because it's such an easy way of scoring and everything. I mean, plus it's a 3-player game, so it goes by a little more faster than your traditional Ticket to Ride games. Since it's limit 3, those tend to speed things up a bit. So if you're in a hurry and you want to play Ticket to Ride, I would recommend playing Nordic countries. And another thing I like about it is there's a lot more thinking of what you want to use your tickets, your train cards for. So it's like, I can use this for this, or I can use this for that. But I can't use it for both. But anyways, number 4, Nordic countries. Okay, so number 3 is the world, or as it's called, Ticket to Ride Rails and Sails. And I do have a how to play video on this game. This one is one of my favorites. I definitely know that I am almost virtually alone in this thing with this. A lot of people I've played this game with, they either really love it or they get annoyed by how long it is. You use boats in this one and trains, which is really, really cool. It's unique that you get to use these boats and you get to use trains. And then you have a hand of boat cards and a hand of train cards, not a boat of trains. I'll point that out. It is pretty late where I am right now and while I'm filming this. I'm not tired, though. I want to point that out. I love the Rails and Sails map. I love the Great Lakes side as well. It's really fun. There is a lot more strategy. And just like the Europe one, they have what's called ports instead of train stations, but they do have something to place it. However, the difference between Europe and the rails and sails map is if you don't use these ports, then you lose points. So unlike the Europe map, where if you don't use the stations, you get to gain points, if you don't use your ports, you lose points. I believe it is -4 for each unused port. So you got to really think you got to use these ports. And one of the cool things is it can really get your score up there, because as long as you have routes that go into the place where you built your port, you can get more points. And so you can really boost up your points going around it. And it's a big, big map. I believe this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest map that Days of Wonder created. It is probably, it is really good, but I do recommend you play this game when you have a lot of time, because it is a time consumer, and it is one of the games where you can get analysis paralysis very heavily. I think I've gotten analysis paralysis playing this game. Jordan's gotten analysis paralysis playing this game. My dad's gotten analysis paralysis playing this game. It's just every time I've played this game with somebody, they've gotten analysis paralysis, because there's so much going on and so much you've got to consider and think about. So yeah, definitely, it's a fun game though. Super fun when you get it on the table, when you learn how to play it. It's like, once you get it, then you're like, oh, it's just Ticket to Ride. But I really enjoyed this game. So number 3, Ticket to Ride, Rails and Sails. Okay, so number 2, we're almost done. Number 2, my number 2 most favorite Ticket to Ride map of what I played, when I played, and I wrote this list quite a bit back, but I don't think I've played any new maps since then, so yeah, is the US map, the original Ticket to Ride map. This one's really fun. It's very near and dear to my heart because it was the first one I learned. It's usually the first one everybody learns how to play, to my knowledge. I understand that some people probably learned a different map, but this is usually the one that, it's the welcoming game that everybody talks about. We call it welcoming instead of gateway anymore now, which is good because that sounds a lot better. So it's a very good welcoming game. The cards are smaller than all the other maps that come with everything. So Germany, Europe, Nordic countries, I believe that's it. For those, Germany, Europe, and Nordic countries, these all come with starting cards. However, these are made with smaller cards. Now, I got like first edition Ticket to Ride. It's gone through some cycles since then. So if they have increased the size of the tickets and the train cards in the original Ticket to Ride game, if anybody bought a recent version of it, let me know in the comments below. I'm very, very curious to know if they did increase it, or if the only way you can do that is by getting the small expansion pack. I think it's called the 1910 expansion pack, which has larger tickets, and larger train cards. But I do love this one. One of the things I love but always drives me crazy is I always want to put all my trains, I want to try to cover the whole map with my trains. I can do that with a lot of these other maps. But unfortunately, that shouldn't be one of the reasons why it should be so far down on this list. And it's not. But, there's just so much that you got to cover, and you go through about like half the map using all your trains. Because I believe we get like 45 trains. Don't quote me on that. But this original game, it's something that everybody plays. It's usually the version of Ticket to Ride that we all teach people who are new to the hobby. It's a blast to play. I know it's definitely Jordan's favorite map, probably. But that's number 2, Ticket to Ride US map. Okay, number 1. This is the this is the map of Ticket to Ride I've played the least, but I love the mechanics of it, and so it's why it's number one. I love the mechanics, I love the theme, and it's just a blast. It is the Ticket to Ride Japan map, not the Italy map, the Japan map, because the Japan map is awesome. Okay, if you have not used the Japan map pack, you need to try it. Find someone who owns it or go get it yourself. The Japan map is awesome because one of the elements that they added is super cool, the bullet trains. The bullet trains are like one of the best things they added in this map pack. The bullet trains are considered wild trains, and you can place them along the map. However, your opponents can use those bullet trains to try to complete their routes as well as you using them to complete your own routes. So I know what you're thinking. So of course, the clear thing is thinking this. Well, if the bullet trains help, so if I'm playing a game with Jordan and I go, well, if the bullet trains are helping out Jordan, well, then I just won't use the bullet trains at all, and I'll just use my own little trains, and that'll show her. However, you have a very limited amount of your own trains, and to top it off, if you don't use the bullet trains, you lose points depending on how little of the bullet trains you use. And so then you go, well, that's pretty simple, then I'll just put out some bullet trains, and then, of course, everything will balance out. Well, that's what you think, but then you also can lose points if you're the one who used the least number of bullet trains. So either way, you have to really keep in consideration how many trains are you using? Not only your own, but the bullet trains as well. It really tells you you have to use this new element. You can't just sit out, and if you don't, you can really suffer for that. And I love that about that it's got a little bit of a mean spirit to it. It's not fully mean where it will make someone like rage quit playing this game, but it definitely will be a little more meaner where you feel like a little pressure of having to use this new element. It is fantastic, and going through the maps, going through all the maps, going through the downtown areas of like Tokyo and stuff like that, it is cool, and I don't know. So and it also has one of the things is it adds a little counter like the ones we go around the board with, but it has one of each color that came out in all the maps. So Germany, U.S., Europe, and Nordic countries. Those four, it has all the colors that come with those four sets. So you're covered. No matter what set of Ticket to Ride you have, if you get this map pack, you're covered. So number one, Japan. Okay, so that is my top 10 favorite Ticket to Ride map packs. If you're curious about Ticket to Ride, I will be leaving some of the how to play videos for Ticket to Ride. I have the U.S. and the world map in there, and they will be up in the screen when I mention them and everything. I think I will also put them down in the comments below as well, just so you can get to them as well, considering this is the end of the video, and you probably don't know that. And I didn't say this in the beginning of the video. So, just, if you want to learn how to play Ticket to Ride, head down there and do that. I have gotten some requests to teach some of these map packs recently, so I will probably get to work on learning the rules for some of these. The one that I need to learn the rules for is the Asia map for teams. I believe it's the legendary Asia map. So I need to learn that one, and then I'll probably get a video out there at some point. If that is, I do have one request for that. So if you guys do agree with that one request, please put them down in the comments below. Let them know that. It will still happen. It just needs to take some time. It's hard because this is like a 6-player game, and I feel like I need at least 4 people to do this successfully. So please be patient with me, and I'll get to that. Let me know what your favorite maps of Ticket to Ride are. I know there's a lot out there. And if you feel like, and if you want to name the little miniature maps, that's perfectly fine. Let me know in the comments below that. Be on the lookout for my next top 10s list. But until then, thanks for the views.